Hi, this is Crystal Cox doing competency number 2, the brief individual telephone discussion. The first one, I'm calling Jennifer today to discuss her homework. Hello, Jennifer. Hey, this is Crystal Cox from Triple P. How are you? Have I caught you at a good time? Oh, great. Okay. I know I told you I was going to give you a call at the last session, and I just wanted to go over that last session and see how it's going for your family. That's the reason I'm calling on these phone calls. I just want to make sure the things we're talking about in class are working well for you, making sure we're tailoring that to your family's needs. Anything, just giving you support in any way I can, maybe helping you brainstorm a little bit. So, okay. Yeah. All right, so when I call you, I just want you to sort of think through what you would like to talk about for today. Each time I call, what you would like to discuss, any kind of challenges that you're having, any accomplishments, things you think you're doing well. So what would you like to talk about today? Okay, your homework. Okay, good. I want to talk about that. That's great. Is there anything else? Okay, your older son has a conference coming up. All right. Okay. Well, listen, this won't take very long, probably 15 to 20 minutes. It can take up to 30 if you need that extra time, but let's get started. You said you want to talk about your homework, so tell me first of all what your homework was and your plan. Okay. You did the planned activities routine for the grocery store. That's right. Okay, good. And what did you plan out? I remember you had told me that your son was putting lots of things in the buggy, wanting you to buy them, and when he realized you hadn't bought them at the end, he was very upset. Right. Okay, so what was your plan for your next grocery trip? Okay. To get through the store without all the things in the buggy. Okay. All right, and how were you going to do that? What was your plan? Okay, to take a toy. All right, good. We talked about that. And to set a rule that he could get one thing. Okay, good, good. So were you able to do that this week? Were you able to go to the store? Okay, good, good. All right, tell me about that. How did it go? Tell me what went well first. Let's start with the good. What went well? Okay, you took the toy. Great. So you followed through with that. Very good. You were afraid you're gonna forget, but you didn't. Okay, good. And what toy did you take? A drawing toy that he likes. All right. And what else do you think went well with that trip? Good. You set that rule that he could pick one extra thing, and I think that's a great option because that gives him a little room, a little wiggle room. Right. You fit he gets some choice, but you don't have to deal with all the stuff in the buggy. Okay, very good. All right, so you feel like that went well. Okay, well, you took the toy. Did he play with it? Oh, for half the trip, that's great. Okay, good. All right, and I know you felt good. Good, you go, girl. Yeah, you felt good establishing that rule. That's great. Okay, well, you said he played with it for half the trip, which is a really long time for him. Um, what happened after that half? Did anything change? Is there anything you would like to change about the trip? Anything you felt like didn't go as well as you had hoped? Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, he picked one. All right, that was the rule. He could pick one thing, so good. And then what happened? He picked some. Oh, he tried to get something else. Okay. Yeah. He put something else in the buggy. And when he did that, what did you do? Okay, you had planned to try the directed discussion. Good, good. We talked about that last time, or a few weeks, a session or so back. Okay, good. Okay, so he picked out the second toy, and you're saying that you pointed out to him that he needed that we were only getting one toy, and you asked him what the rule was, and he repeated that, but then he started crying. Really, okay. Well, that's and I think that's because you were setting a new rule, and he has to get used to that new rule. It's a change for him, right? So when he cried, what did you do then? Well, don't be too hard on yourself. You let him put it in there and thought I'll deal with it later, but think about the trip before that you took. He probably had 10 things in there before that point in the trip. So you're trying something new. It's going to take some practice, but I'm proud for you trying that. I think you're doing great. You got through part of that directed discussion. He named the rule to you, but then he started crying and you gave in, and it's hard. It's hard to be consistent, but that is very important. Uh huh. Right. Well, so what do you think you would want to try different? What would you want to do differently? Okay. Just following through, making him put that toy back on the shelf. Okay. All right. Hey, I think it sounds like it went well. So basically, you set up your plan. You told him that um, you were going to go to the grocery store. You said you just took him, which was a good idea. You took a toy he liked to play with. You set a rule, and you followed through by telling him what that rule was. Man, you got through half the shopping trip without him crying or putting things in the buggy. I think that's a big change. And I can tell you feel good about that part, and don't feel too bad about the second part when you put the other toy in. Because what do you want to do for next week? Between this session and when we talk again, are you going to have an opportunity to go to the store? Good. And what would you like to do for that trip? Okay, you want to keep those goals. Take that toy. There you go. Follow through with that directed discussion, and when it happens, just yeah, I think that's a great goal to follow through. Just to try this all again, and you're gonna be stronger every time. I'm real proud of you. Okay, and you wanted to talk about something else. What was that?